Hello to everybody on YouTube. Welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. You are hearing the voice of Mrs. Best, and we are here to do our weekly recap of Basketball Wives LA. The episode was appropriately titled I'm a Poop Emoji Finisher. Um, for y'all that's wondering, I do curse, but the first couple minutes into a YouTube video, you're not technically supposed to. So I'm trying to follow the rules. Anywho, you guys, normally I do have my co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel join me in these lives, but he is actually in the midst of moving. So congrats to him on his new home. And he will be back, I believe, in a few days, very soon. He's just waiting on internet. Y'all know how it goes. Anywho, you guys, we're going to start with what we saw that was relevant. Jennifer and Brandy, they meet up, and basically Brandy is wondering why Evelyn cares so much about what's going on between her and Brooke. I was wondering the same thing. It's none of Evelyn's business, y'all. It's none of Evelyn's business, and they actually have a friendship, and it's just very strange. But Jen was quiet when Brandy was talking about Evelyn and her behavior. And, I didn't like that because a couple seasons ago when Jennifer came back to Basketball Wives, Evelyn treated her like in a way that I don't feel should have ever been forgiven, especially about what was allegedly said or anything like that. Like it did not warrant her behavior. But in my opinion, Evelyn kind of always does too much. Maybe it's just me, but I've always felt like she does a little bit too much. But Jen's quiet. When a couple seasons ago, when her and Ev was not the closest, she was real vocal. Now that you guys are friends, you suddenly have nothing to say. That's not a real friendship. If you can't be honest with your friends when they are doing too much or behaving in a way that's hurting them or just not appropriate, then you don't have a friendship. You should be able to tell the people that you care about, like when they're wrong, right, and everything in between. That's just my personal little opinion. Anywho, you guys, the next thing we see is Jac'eil, Jen, Brooke, and Miss Evelyn. They all meet up. And I don't like that Brooke intentionally did not include Evelyn from. I didn't understand. Why would you exclude Brandy, Brooke? Because over Evelyn? Y'all are just now getting cool. I didn't understand that. But she didn't want drama because they were beefing, so I can't understand that. Uh, but Brooke is basically, she got another man. I can't. First of all, I'm not trying to be mean. She was never a basketball wife. She's a baby mama. Okay. And she's always in love. I feel like when we first met Brooke, she was trying to date and all of that. And then since she's been back to Basketball Wives, it's just been a whole lot of men. And then you just divorced. The ink is not dry. The stamp has not been put on the paperwork at the courthouse. And you're already talking of this new man. To me, it's weird. It's getting old and it's no longer cute. Um, so I don't know. She's in another long distance relationship, which she swore she wasn't going to do again. Another way we know that she's full of you know what. And I'm getting tired of her voice. Like it sometimes makes my teeth itch, like the way she speaks. Girl, if you from South Central, they don't sound like that. Not the people I know from there. Anywho, Brooke once again brings up Brandy in front of Evelyn and her feelings on this. Here's my thing. I understand the situation is sensitive for Brooke because it does relate to her daughter who passed on. But at the same time, if you can say in the confessional, Brooke, that Brandy meant no wrong and did not have malice towards you, then you need to give her grace and be a friend. And why do you keep bringing her up and discussing her with people who you know have a problem with her? That's shady. Even if you mad at your friend, you're not gonna go talk about them to somebody else. That's messy. That's how problems get started. So it just really, really gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves. But she said when Brooke explained herself, she basically said that she was upset at Brandy because she kept mentioning Jackie's name and her daughter in the same sentence. Brooke, I'm sorry. I understand you're grieving. Get the hell over yourself, though. What is wrong with you? Your daughter's name and Jackie Christie will always be said in the same sentences because you're on TV. So you can't get mad at your cast members for doing what producers probably told them to do so people could interact. You just cannot get mad at that. I feel like if it's too much, which I understand because that's, I mean, her daughter passed away, that's a big deal. But, you know, if that's truly too much for her and she can't tolerate like filming with Jackie or having Jackie's name come up at the same, you know, topic of discussion for her daughter, then you don't need to be on the show. Because what the hell does Brooke think is going to happen when she gets to the reunion? They're going to mention Jackie and her child in a sentence. So why is it that Brandy, you don't want her to do the same? I think Brooke had a moment and got overly emotional and got mad at Brandy when she really shouldn't have been upset with her. And I don't think she is woman enough to admit it. She just seemed like she prideful. That's just my personal opinion. Comment you guys' opinions because I would love, 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 love to hear them. Anyhow, Cheyenne calls Evelyn, which is weird. Miss Evelyn is so concerned about Brandy being friends with Brooke and inviting Jackie to a cast event. Makes no sense, but here Evelyn is getting phone calls from Cheyenne, who is Jackie's good friend, about hosting a women's empowerment brunch. And apparently there's going to be a senator there. Why are people coming, you know, if they don't like her? Evelyn's just very, very, she could be fake at times. I don't understand what she's doing. She's also a hypocrite. And she keeps talking about Jackie prostituting in 1987. Girl, it's 2024. That is not tea. It's not hot. The herbs have disintegrated. You're talking to us about some stuff from 1987? That's over 35 years ago. What? No. Evelyn, no. Stop it. Find something recent. Because you couldn't find that Jackie is cheating on her man. You couldn't find that her man is cheating on her. All you found is that she went to jail and did 100 and something days for walking the streets with all the rest of the streetwalkers. That's all you can prove. And to me, I think it's humiliating for them to keep talking about it for Jackie, whether she knows or not, because at this time she didn't. Just because I don't know. I'm a lover of I don't judge people, really. So it's like I have friends that have prostituted. I got friends who do prostitute. And you can't judge a book by its cover. That saying is truly true. You never know why somebody's in the situation that they're in. And I don't think it's right to judge it. Also, Evelyn, at least Jackie charges. At least she charged. You out here giving it up for free and then carrying babies just to end up alone. I'm just saying. So Evelyn needs to, what they say, people who live in glass houses should not be throwing stones. Evelyn, you live in a glass house. Stop it. And I also noticed Evelyn gets into it with every last friend that she has, it seems, except for Shawnee O'Neal and the real friends she has off of the show. That's what I've noticed. But moving through, you guys, like the video if you have not already. Brooke and Brandy end up meeting up after Brandy calls Brooke because Brooke did not reach out to her. I'm telling y'all, she's prideful or she's a fake friend. One of the two. But Brandy explains that she thought that Jackie owed Brooke accountability for what she said about her daughter. But she also states that she understands that Brooke does not want that now. And then Brandy also explains that she's not even cool with Jackie. They're not kicking it or any of that. And Brandy then apologizes for what she did do and how it could have triggered Brooke. I felt like Brandy handled that like a real friend. True Gemini, y'all love to hate us, but like if we care about you and realize that something we've done has hurt you, a Gemini will apologize. And be glad if you get one, because not everybody gets that. But I did respect Brandy for apologizing, and you could see there's a little bit of growth in her versus the Brandy we were used to from the past. Like even with Evelyn standing up, acting like Brandy wanted to fight her, she was calm, didn't hit her. If I wanted to fight you, I would fight you. And I feel like in this situation, she still heard what Evelyn was saying, even though Evelyn's just on some crap. But I just like the accountability. So good job to you, Brandy. Very, very good job. But I don't know. Brooke claims she has no ill feelings. We'll see. I don't think Brooke was right in how she treated Brandy at all about the situation. Because you're on TV, her expectations are unreasonable. Anywho, Brooke gets up in the middle of this meeting with Brandy and takes a call from Evelyn, as if she can't take a call in front of her actual friend who she was friends with longer than Miss Evelyn. You can't take a call in front of Brandy from Evelyn. That's so childish. So that's how you know Brooke is messy, y'all. I'm telling you. And I'm just saying, I'm from California. She says she's from South Central. The girls down there are a little messy. Southern California in general. I don't know what that's about. But like, every female has their flaws everywhere. So I'll say that. But she real messy. Anywho, she takes the call, and the call from Evelyn, you guys, is Evelyn invites Brooke to the women empowerment event that Cheyenne invited her to. And I'm like, wait. Evelyn, how is it that you could be friendly with Cheyenne, who's Jackie's best friend? And Brooke says she doesn't want anything to do with anybody who knows Jackie or is cool with Jackie or is friends with Jackie, all of that. But then you're okay with Evelyn being cool with somebody so close to Jackie, and then you're willing to come to an event that you know that Jackie will be at, but you were so pissed off that she was invited to a cooking class that she did not show up to. That's BS. That's when I was done with Brooke. Really done. If you was really impacted by your daughter, it wouldn't have been all of that. It wouldn't have been all of that. You would have been consistent in what you said. Hell, Brandy was consistent in what she said since the very beginning, since she came into it. Jackie owes Brooke the accountability for what she did. But Brooke, you supposedly don't want people in your life who's dealing with her. Are your expectations of Evelyn lower because you just being friendly with her because somebody she know in your family or whatever the hell? Because that don't make sense. That don't make sense. She's connected to Jackie, her closest friend, versus Brandy inviting Jackie to an event that the cast is legally obligated to, film with each other. It's their job. So I'm over Brooke and all of her BS. I'm really over it. Moving on, you guys. Jennifer meets with her movie producers for her film. And she's talking about how her documentary inspired her to come up with Jennifer Williams Productions, and she wants to have a motion picture. Jennifer, you did not have a documentary, darling. She's a dingbat, y'all. She is. She's beautiful. She's rich, but Jennifer is a doggone dingbat. It's just the fact. You didn't have a documentary. You had a documentary special that was an episode of an MTV show. You were just an episode or two. There were other people as well who had the same luxury. I watched the show. I actually really like MTV. It's a sad thing. It's a really sad thing. But I watched the show. It was a little dramatic too. It was a little bit much, her hollering at that lawyer and doing the most. It was really disingenuous. I didn't feel sorry for Jen watching the documentary. I said, this girl is dumb as bricks. I don't know what's wrong with her. The lights are on in Jennifer's brain, but nobody is home, because just look up the men that Jen has dated and then go on YouTube, because I'm a firm believer that YouTube gives us all the answers in life that we need. Go on YouTube and look up some videos of her just commenting on what she claims these men have done to her, even though any normal human being, a 5-year-old, could have seen the BS from a mile away. Moving on, you guys. She meets with the producers, wants to make a movie. She wants to get this movie sold to a large movie company before she marries the boy. I just can't. Love Jennifer, can't support this relationship. I don't think Jennifer should choose her own men based on her track record. I believe Jennifer should hire a professional or find a friend that's been successful in marriage and have them set her up. I don't think Jennifer knows what she's doing with picking men. Moving on, you guys. We then see Cheyenne and Jackie meet up. And this is amazing because we have not seen Jackie in a few episodes yet. We have spoken about Jackie in every episode. What would these women have for this show that would be entertaining without Jackie? Nothing, because that's all they can seem to talk about. So Cheyenne asked why Jackie did not show up to the cooking class when Cheyenne was only there to support Jackie. And Jackie explains that her husband was playing. He had a game. Y'all know that was some BS. Jackie be lying. She just lied a lot sometimes, but she's funny as hell when she does it, and that's why she's good TV. First of all, basketball games are planned. Okay, Jackie, your husband coaches an NBA team in Sacramento. Them games is posted. They be having them on the freeway, on the billboards. I live in California near that area. When there's a basketball game, they put it across the bus. When the buses come in, you'll see "Go Warriors, Go Giants," or these are the teams local to where I'm at. But it's the same way out in Sac. My sister had lived there for a while. Jackie, you know of games ahead of time. You know when Doug's having a game and where. She's funny to use that as an excuse. So Cheyenne lets Jackie know that Evelyn brought up the fact that she was a prostitute in 1987. And Jackie immediately denies the prostitute and swears it's a lie. This is why I say it's humiliating to her, because if you look at her face and her body language, I don't think it's a lie. She also does not know that they actually legally looked up her paperwork to know that there's proof that it's not a lie. So it's kind of concerning, but I don't think it's nothing to be embarrassed about. You married, you old as hell now, you got grown kids, grandkids, and you're still with your husband. He may be the fourth one, but he's the one that lasted. So I just wish Jackie would have just admitted it. That's my personal thing. I wish she would have just admitted it, because we would have respected her more and actually connected with her more to some extent if she admitted it. But Jackie Christie gonna put on for the cameras, and it's funny. Now, why did this lady Jackie say that Evelyn's dog is limping because Evelyn practices bestiality? It's just outlandish. Jackie, nobody's gonna believe that. That's all she could come up with, is that leave the dog out of it. Why you got to talk about the dog's limp? Leave the animal out of it. That's just weird. Brooke and Brandy end up, you guys, kicking it with Jennifer. And without Evelyn, we did notice that there was no drama. I do agree with Brandy that Evelyn needs to mind her business and worry about her aging neck. That's my little take, not Brandy's. But, I also want them to stop talking about the same thing over and over. Like, please. So they discussed Brooke's weekend with her new man. And Brooke says she's in love, and that they set a wedding date of 12/12/2024. I believe these people have only been dating like 2 weeks. And Brooke's like, I know him from years ago. Bitch. Then why didn't Brooke? I don't care. It's too soon. Why are you talking of moving in together? I understand if the dick is good. I'm not going to lie. It can be life-changing. But what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Where is your therapist? Seek help. Moving on. We get to the brunch, and all of the women arrive. And, this is a women's empowerment brunch. And I was wondering why they had a male senator. There's a lot of female senators, Well, there's not a lot, but they had some options. Maybe they just wanted a black senator, but I didn't like that there was a bunch of men actually at this women's empowerment event that were kind of being treated like they were being honored. I didn't like that. But Evelyn apologizes a little bit to Brandy. The two make peace. And I don't know. I don't trust it. I feel like they're making peace for Brooke, which I'm also okay with, because that shows that you guys actually care about your friend if you're going to make peace for them. So I don't mind that whatsoever. But Cheyenne decides to call Brandy over to talk to Jackie. And Jackie acts like she did not know. Jackie acts like she did not know anything of the event. She claims she didn't agree to come to Brandy's event and all these crazy things. And then the camera shows that Jackie once again is lying. I'm telling y'all, Jackie just be lying to lie. She just be lying to lie. So when talking to Jackie, Cheyenne explains that Brandy went to bat for Jackie and was the only person who did that in front of all of the women. And Jackie goes, oh, that's wonderful. Usually you're a shit starter. It's like, come on, Jackie, why are you this way? Brandy says, no, I'm a shit finisher, which is the title of the episode. But I'm just like, Jackie, why did you have to go so left? But it was entertaining. It was entertaining because the other ladies is boring and messy and catty and petty. So I was entertained. Now, Brandy goes back to the table. She's annoyed and she does what Evelyn needs to do. Evelyn is madder than Brooke, who's the only person who has a reason to be upset. Brandy said, I'm not going to let that lady get to me. At some point, it's like, you guys know how Jackie is. So to continue getting mad at Jackieing is stupid. Y'all know she going to do what she doing. You keep coming around and then you get that mad. Like, stop. So we then see the event take place. And why did Cheyenne call the senator funny looking? He was a little funny looking. But why did she have to announce that through the microphone? I said, oh, she's uncouth. So she then announces that the man at the event was the reason, another man in the corner. He was a little man in the corner, a little older man. She says he's the reason women can apply for credit on their own. Why are you lying? He probably did a lot. What I got from this event, you guys, is it seems like the people she chose were like senators and people who work in the community in Southern California that she is from. I believe it was Compton or something like that. I don't know where they were. I'm from the Bay Area. I don't know LA. But it seems like it was more so people who work in the community of Los Angeles versus somebody who actually made it possible for women to be able to apply for credit on their own. I'm just saying. But I do see what she was trying to do. But you could have, if it's women's empowerment, you should have found other women that have empowered women or other women who have done something historic versus bringing those men. I'm not taking away what they've done. And I think it's wonderful what they've done, especially the fact that it's for the opposite sex. But it's a women's empowerment event. Please put those men somewhere. Please put them somewhere. Anywho, Jackie then makes a speech, which Cheyenne did not expect. And I thought it was rude of the ladies to be talking crap and being negative when she's making the speech. To give an award to Alice Harris, who did a lot for women. Jackie then says, after the whole event and all of those things, is she wants Cheyenne to address the women who did not stand up. And here's what happened. After Jackie introduces Miss Alice Harris, Cheyenne then, when they did the stuff on the credit card guy, she was like, stand up if you've ever applied for a credit card or some line of credit. And not all of the women stood up, and that upsets Cheyenne. So, Jackie tells her, you need to address the women who didn't stand. And Jackie did not stand herself. So I'm like, okay, Jackie, not you start some crap and then leave and go into your car. Now, Brooke says when Cheyenne walks over to them, Cheyenne's like, how come you didn't stand? And Brooke says she doesn't like that she was called out, which she was called out. She was called out. Now, in this situation, I understood Brooke because a lot of people were not sitting. Jac'eil stayed sitting. I believe Brandy stayed sitting. I saw people in the background at other tables sitting, but only Brooke was called out. And then my other thing is, as an event host, if you know that that's going to be a part of your speech, I assume you pre-planned that. Why would you serve them food and expect them to stop eating their food and stand up? This was a room full of Black women, and I don't know if y'all don't know, we don't play about our food. Why am I going to stop eating my chicken and greens and macaroni just for you to have me stand to make a point? That's annoying. That's annoying. And if people don't stand, you don't call out just the one person. That was strange. But I did feel like Brooke was rude a little bit with her response. Her and Cheyenne end up getting into it, and Cheyenne calls security, and all hell, quite literally, all hell breaks loose. Brooke was a little bit rude with how she spoke to Cheyenne as a whole. I don't care. Watch how you talk to me. When Cheyenne's trying to talk, Brooke's over talking her and rolling her neck and all of that. And it was extra. It was not unnecessary. I feel like it wouldn't have escalated if Brooke, like, you could have stood in what you said, but she was over talking her and all this extra stuff. So all hell breaks loose. Cheyenne calls security to remove Brooke. And then Brooke is going off. Ain't nobody in this mother, what gonna touch me or remove me. I'm like, security is. If you're not wanted somewhere, they will escort your ass out, BBL and all, Brooke. So relax. So she ends up getting into it with a lot of Cheyenne's family members and stuff who are there. People's ready to take off on them because what Brooke doesn't understand is she's not the most liked basketball wife. Separate from that, I got the energy that the people there were more about the event and they don't care for reality TV. Some people respect it, a lot of people don't. This is a show also, I think, unfortunately, a lot of people are losing respect for. It's the same stuff season after season. These people acting a fool in their 50s. It is what it is. But it pissed off the family. So the family and Brooke end up battling. It got a little bit wretched, I'm not gonna lie. And then Brooke gets into it with somebody who it looks like was a part of the family, but also ensuring that they left because they did leave the building. And the lady did not say anything to Brooke. What are you looking at? Why you what you gonna do? That's Brooke to this person. And then she makes a comment about this lady looking like a boy because she did look like a stud or something like that, but we can't place labels on people. And Brooke saying you may look like a boy but you still a bitch or something like that. uh, I'm like, girl, you gonna regret them words because they'll cancel you for nothing. I wouldn't say stuff like that. It's not gonna it's and then separate from that, why do you have nothing else to say to this person other than to attack their appearance? And no shade, Brooke is a beautiful woman, but that BBL is botched in my personal opinion. She can't be talking about nobody else's look. She just cannot. But she's gonna do that. She acted a fool. Now, I think the world and anybody who watches Basketball Wives at this point, we are 11 seasons in. Whenever we hear anything that has to do with women empowerment in this cast, I chuckle because I instantly know that nobody will be empowered. In fact, they're going to embarrass us as a damn gender. That's what I know. And that's what they did. They acted a fool. Um, I did feel like the way Brooke acted was classless and tasteless. But when Cheyenne originally called her classless and tasteless before putting her out, I did not feel like Cheyenne should have done that. I felt like that was too much. Like, why is this girl classless and tasteless? Because she didn't want to stand up while she had her mouth full of food. I don't think that made her classless and tasteless. What made her classless and tasteless was her response. But, that's just how Brooke responds. Moving on, I also want to make it known that money does not buy you class or taste. It doesn't. It just doesn't. But you'll look good. There you go. So I sometimes do feel, you guys, that Brooke uses her stress or the things that she goes through, traumas and stuff, as an excuse for her behavior versus being accountable, and she needs to work on that. But I will say thank you, because after the event and everybody leaves, they go meet up somewhere else, and Evelyn admits that Brooke was spicy. She's the only one who said, like, you did do a lot. And in my opinion, Brooke, you cannot treat an event host that way. Even if you didn't like something they did, just because you don't like something someone does, doesn't mean you tell that to them in a disrespectful way. There was another way she could have done. She could have just been like, I really didn't appreciate being called out. Like, it made me uncomfortable. Please don't ever do that again if I come to one of your events. But instead, this is how Brooke delivers it. I don't like being called out. And that's probably why Cheyenne called her classless and tasteless, because a woman of class isn't just going to get an attitude and start tripping. She's going to still express herself. And she could easily told Cheyenne, I didn't like what you did, in a more respectful way. But, hell, we can't do the most. Brooke is always doing too much. Now, Brooke mentions the boy comment that she made. She was clearly aware that the comment she made was inappropriate for her to mention it so soon after. And the reason she brings it up is because she says to jac'eil, I didn't want to offend the community, because jac'eil is part of the LGBTQ community. I think Brooke knows what she did. I just don't think she thought about it because she was really angry. That's why I say the girl need a therapist or a better one. Because why would your mind even go there? I've gotten into it and have people I don't deal with no more who's part of that community. Never would I throw in their face or make a jab at their appearance or the fact that they're part of that community. Like, that's whack, but it is what it is. Jac'eil kind of understood it, but you know, she also, I could tell Jac'eil was just a smidge bothered, but not bothered enough to like make it a big deal, which is fair. So then Jennifer randomly mentions and kind of interrupts Brandy to say that Jackie will be in her movie. And so she has to come to an event. I want to know when this movie hits theaters or Tubi or BET. I would love to know because I will actually watch it. I will actually watch it. I will watch it. That's what I'll say, Jennifer. Moving on. It's interesting too because everybody was okay with the fact that Jackie would be at the event because she's in the movie, but Brandy couldn't invite her to a cooking class. But everyone else can get away with it. These ladies are some straight bullies sometimes. They make no sense. Last thing we see for the scene of this episode is Evelyn meeting up with Cheyenne again. Yes, she claimed they're not friends or getting cool, but she keeps meeting up with her. Yet she was so bothered by Brandy inviting Jackie to one event. I'm going to keep saying it. These bitches is foul. These bitches is full of shit. And I'm over it. They all hypocrites because it makes no sense. Now, they speak of what happened at Cheyenne's event and with Brooke. And Evelyn is right. I do think Cheyenne and Brooke were wrong. They were both wrong, in my opinion. You can't call out one person and you can't just call someone classless and tasteless because they don't agree with you. And just because you don't like something, Brooke, don't mean you get a funky ass, wretched ass, nasty ass ghetto attitude. It's not cute. You're not in South Central no more, so act better, please. So Evelyn actually made sense. They were both wrong. And it does look very strange that she's friends with Jackie's friend, but Cheyenne doubled down on what she said about Brooke being tasteless and classless. And while people are looking at it like, oh, that's a problem. Sorry, the way Brooke acted, it was that. What was you going to do? Fight the whole family? Your family lived down the street too, all this extra stuff. Like, if you have enough money to where you have something to lose, and act like you have something to lose and learn how to hold tongue. Grow the hell up. And please don't use your daughter's grief as a reason for you acting this way at this event, because before your daughter passed away, Brooke, you was acting this way. So please don't. Please don't. But, you know, I really think she just needs like a grief counselor and a break from this show. I genuinely feel that way. I don't ever expect for Brooke to deal with Jackie. I would never deal with Jackie if she said the things she said. You don't speak about the dead, like, especially in a shady way. You don't make it seem like you're sorry for something that's so important to Brooke with, and then change your mind just for views and clicks and likes. Like, you don't do that. You know, you just don't do that. So Brooke has a right to be mad at Jackie, but she needs to take a break from the show because it's getting old. And I don't want to watch this train wreck of a relationship. I just don't. Moving on. Cheyenne and Brooke, as we know, has known each other for years. And this is where Cheyenne says Brooke has been this way, the way that she behaved for years, which we have seen just with her time on the show. And it's interesting that Evelyn doesn't want to be in the middle of Cheyenne and Brooke. She flat out says that, but she wanted to be in the middle of Brooke and Brandy. Go away, Evelyn. It just makes no sense. You could tell producers were like, hey, Evelyn, prevent this person because this person not talking. It's time to revamp Basketball Wives. Get rid of everybody. Leave Jac'eil. Make her the matriarch and build a cast around her. Please. Because it's too much. But that is it, y'all, for this episode of Basketball Wives LA. The episode's titled I'm a Shit Finisher. This was season 11, episode 18. It's my recap and review. Next week, James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, who's normally my co-host, he should be back next week. So he will be joining us on this live. You can catch me on his channel later this week as well if you want to watch us recap some more shows. Other than that, you guys, I'm going to head into my next live. I appreciate you. Like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.